Ireland was the cradle of Christianity in the British Isles. The island had been Christian since the 5th century, and it was Irish monks who had spread the faith across northern Britain. For centuries, Irish monasteries flourished, surrounded by prosperous towns and villages. One 7th century chronicler wrote this of the community that had sprung up around the monastery of Kildare.
No man need fear any mortal adversary or any gathering of enemies, and who could number the varieties of people who gather there in countless throngs from all provinces. Some come for the abundance of its feasts, others in ill health come for a cure, others come simply to watch the crowds go by.
Those words were written before the dawn of Ireland's Viking Age. Local Irish communities did not shy from a fight, but due to the speed of Norse ships, Vikings often escaped before a force could assemble to oppose them. Terror gripped the monks within their monasteries, who prayed for storms to drive the Norsemen from the seas. In the margins of a commentary on Latin grammar, one 9th century monk of the monastery of St. Gall wrote,
"The wind is fierce tonight, it tosses the sea's white hair. I fear no wild Viking crossing the main."
But soon, the Vikings no longer came merely as raiders, but as conquerors. In 839, a fleet led by the warlord Thorgil the Devil, called Turgesius by the Irish, struck up the River Bann into Lough Neagh. Rather than plunder and depart, Thorgil established a fortified camp on the shore of the lake. Here the Norsemen remained for 3 years, plundering the heart of Ulster each summer. This was the first Viking shore base ever established. The Irish called them Longforts. The Norse established a permanent presence in Ireland. This allowed them to expand their raiding operations, but it also robbed them of their mobility. These forts were vulnerable to attack. In 840, Thorgil the Devil plundered the important monastery of St. Patrick at Armagh in Northern Ireland. Here was the very centre of Ireland's spiritual life, the site of St. Patrick's death and burial. Over the years, the location had evolved into a great complex of schools, monastic communities and markets. Many Irish kings stored their royal treasuries at St. Patrick's, hoping the saint would guard over their wealth. Monasteries in general were repositories of precious objects. As legal centres, items used in pledges, such as brooches, were kept within their walls